What's up YouTube, Colt45 here. Today of course I have this deck profile planned for at least about maybe a couple months now. So this is April now, and it's for Yu-Gi-Oh, but this deck it's gonna probably get updated in May if that is when the set comes out. So I'm really gonna make this video out to you guys, and this is like a kind of more of a budget deck profile for this deck. As much as I can make it budget, because this deck is kind of expensive actually. So legitly, well, not high dollar cards and everything. It's pretty crazy to say that this deck actually on TCG Player is going for a kind of good amount of money as ultra rares only, and it's crazy to say that, but it's true. It's legitimately true, and everything. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the purrely deck. This deck, there's a lot of different versions you can build for this deck to make it better. But for right now, this is more of the budget friendly. This is more of like what I could afford, at least for the deck. Whoa, and everything. So yeah. So I'm gonna give you guys this deck profile, and hopefully you guys are okay with a close-up video of the cards. So there's a few cards I would love to change in this deck before I give you guys this deck profile, but for right now, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna give it to you guys, and then of course when the when cards come out, I will try to get all the cards I do need for this deck and give you guys a deck profile. So 3 copies of Purrely, because Purrely is like one of your boss your only boss monster in the deck. Let me shut the lights because I'm using the normal light. There we go. What this card does is when this card's double summon special summon, you can activate the top 3 cards of your deck and add a spell trap card that lists Purrely in its name, otherwise put at the bottom of the deck. And then if as well, what it does is that if you have a river spell card or Purrely in its card name and everything, so yeah, if you have a river spell card with Purrely river spell card in your hand, basically like the river spells is basically what you were going to be playing that with anyways. So you have one of those in your hand, you can XC summon with this card, with that card, with one of the XC material that lists its name. So, yep. And both effects are now once per turn kind of situation, so it's pretty good and everything. And yeah, this is the deck down teaching my girlfriend how to play too. Yes, she has the same deck list. 3 copies of Ash Blossom, because Ash Blossom is like one of the best hand traps in the deck, because in the card game and everything like that. So yeah, because it negates searching and everything like that, so it's pretty good. I'll show you how much Purrely is. Like Purrely is kind of expensive, like $26.30. Yeah. So in $26 range. That's why I said it's kind of expensive. 3 copies of Effect Failure, because since we are doing effects like crazy, this is one of the best cards you can use to negate effects as well. Now because I can't get like my copies in the viewers, I need like about 4 copies. Then if I decide to use it, I decided to use one copy of Ghost Spell and Snow Rabbit for the placeholder, as well with another placeholder for another card. Basically, what this card does is if it's on your field or in your hand, and your opponent has the card already activated on the field, you can send this card if it's on your field to the grave, or in your hand to the grave to destroy it. So yeah, it's pretty good. Negate and destroy. Then I decided on 2 copies of Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion, because Ghost Spell Haunted Mansion is a pretty good card. It helps out the deck so much in this build, and what it does is that basically it will negate negates adding cards from the graveyard to the deck, and it negates special summoning and banish cards from the graveyard. So basically it stops Call by the Grave, it stops you adding cards from the deck to the grave and everything like that. So yeah. As well, if you would want to know, I do have these cards, so what's added into it, because it is a hand trap. 2 copies if in tournaments. I would love to run a 3rd one, but these cards are getting a little bit more expensive, so at least I have 2 at least, so it's better than nothing. I should have bought my 3rd one when I had a chance, when I was building this deck at first, and now it's like it's a little bit more expensive. Basically, it can negate the effect, and then of course, if it's say this is the monster, this is your face down, it will negate that effect as well, at that whole row. So it's pretty good for that reason. Now for the spells, a lot of people will disagree on this one. 3 copies of Stray Purrely Street. I wrote in 3 copies because I really want to make sure this deck has a lot of searching power in this deck and everything, at least because with this deck there's a lot, you still search, and this deck has a lot of searching power, but at the same time it needs more. So basically, when you special summon your Purrely monster, it's unaffected by your opponent cannot target them with the card effects. And then once per turn, during each of your, of course, one if your Axiom monster dies, you special summon a Purrely monster from your deck or graveyard. That's level 1, so yeah, if you have Lily will be coming out soon, but that's all I make sure I give you guys this deck before. For right now, we got Purrely. So basically, it's a free monster reborn, or a free monster from the deck. Easily to actually summon if you did go for second and you attack. Then each end phase, so basically you and your opponent, you attach for the river spell card among them. So basically, you choose one of your Purrely river spell cards and add it to your from your deck or graveyard and attach it as XC material to your XC Purrely monsters. So it's pretty good that way. Okay. 3 copies of My Friend Purrely, because this card you want to run 3 copies of this card and everything like that. What it does is by paying 5 life points, you could reveal 3 Purrely cards among them besides this card, shuffle, and your opponent chooses one randomly, so shuffle into your deck, rest into your deck, and then if you are face effects monster, you will leave the field by opponent's card. So basically, like attack or by card effect. You choose your 3 of your Purrely river spell cards and in your graveyard and add them to your hand with different names. So yep, it's just a pretty good card. 3 copies of Purrely Pretty Memory. Purrely Pretty Memory has the all the memory effects have the same discard fodder effect or if focus. Like discard 1 card from me. If you do, search someone level 1 Purrely monster from your deck, that all the memories have that effect. But anyways, what this card does is each player gains 1,000 life points. And then of course the discard fodder effect, like I said, while this card is in the XC material, once per turn you can send one other card you control to the graveyard, target 1 card your opponent controls, and attach it as XC material. So it's a pretty good card, but it has to be a Purrely XC monster. It cannot be like Zeus or something like that while it's an XC material. It has to be, you have to make sure it's a Purrely card still. So yeah. 3 copies of Purrely Delicious Memory. Purrely Delicious Memory protects your Purrely monsters before being destroyed till your next turn, basically. So basically, if you play this on your opponent's turn, it's your Purrely monster is unaffected by your opponent's by destruction that whole turn. So it's pretty cool. And then basically what it does is, while this card's in the XE material, you gain 300 attack and defense for each XE material you have underneath that XE monster. Purrely XE monster, right? Yep. So it's a pretty good card for that. So we run 3 copies of that. And then 3 copies of Purrely Happy Memory. Purrely Happy Memory is like when it would have been destroyed by a card, like if it would be destroyed by a card effect, it won't be for the first time. And then it has the same discard fodder effect, like I said. Then if this card's in an XC monster of a Purrely monster, you can make it attack again. So basically, if you have this name, so you have all 3 of these ends in one of your Purrely XC monster, you gain 4 attacks. So that's a pretty good card. It's a pretty good card for that reason. This card, I would say I would keep in the deck because it's Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is one of the best cards for the deck because you will get hand trapped like crazy with this deck. So at least have at least Called by the Grave for that reason. And this is another card I would say I will keep because 2 copies of Triple Technic Talent. You need this card actually. At first, when I had the deck made, it was more budget friendly. This card you need. This card's almost like about 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Like it's around that range, and I had to make sure I get this card. What it does is during your opponent's turn, if your opponent activates an effect during your main phase, you draw 2 cards, take control of one of your opponent's monsters. So basically, if you play mirror match, you can. It'd be awesome. And then look at your opponent's hand and choose one to shuffle it. Yeah, but your take control is once per turn, and it's that till end turn. And then of course you can shuffle one of your cards your opponent controls to your deck. So it's really awesome. This one is more if like these cards are iffy, but I will still like to run them. I run Hoppy Spider Duster because of back row destroying that. So yeah, that's the only reason why I do that. One for one, I would say it's in here mainly now for only, like, I would say when Lily comes in here, maybe will be more of it, because usually I discard it for one of these three cards, especially like the other bell too, if you so you guys know, because when I was testing this deck out against my friends, this deck doesn't use as much, so it's mainly in here for the discard fodder of like one of your memories at least, because you can easily have it in there and then do stuff. So yeah. And then I decided to run Monster Reborn in the deck for right now because Monster Reborn is Monster Reborn. Like I said, still a good card. At least have something as well for that reason. So it's like these two are more like I really want to keep in the deck, but I do not know yet. But of course, back row Destroyment is really good for destroying back row. And then for a more of a budget play, 2 XC imports. This is only once per turn kind of card. That's why I only run 2. But what it does is target 1 XC monster you control and 1 monster your opponent controls with attack less or equal to your attach to that monster and attach it as XC material. It's once per turn. Because of Delicious Memory, you gain 300 attack and defense for each XC material you have. This card could counter a lot of different plays. That's just why I'm running it at least. I would say at least at 2 would be okay, but maybe 3 if you want to play more budget. If you can't get your hands on, of course, triple technique talents, if you can't get your hands on those, or you do have it, at least run it. Like this card, I would probably only run one of. If I had another Infinite or Permanent, I would take it out for that. I do not know yet. Like I said, I'm still testing out this deck, and it still runs perfectly fine. And then a lot of people doesn't run this card at 3, but I do because it, like I said, it's more budget friendly for people, and this card is still a good card. What it does is that it's a rank down magic. So basically, you can rank up your, of course, your purrely's that's level 2 to level 7, and then you can rank down from your level 7 to rank 2. So it's like that kind of play. And as well, what this card does, if it's in the graveyard, you can shuffle any purrely like monster, that means XC, even your purrely itself, and pull them back into the deck. 3 monsters and pull them back into the deck. So yeah, basically Bell will be good against this card and everything like that, so I would not like if you go against a mirror match like I will be with my girlfriend, I will not use it. So that's it for the main deck. For the Etcher deck now, let's get going. I'm running 2 copies of X Purrely Happiness. Happiness is a very good card still in this deck, and since I really want to make it more of a Purrely build, so I made sure it's more Purrely. What this card does is it's like basically your end game border if you want to end the game pretty quickly. Because what it does is if you can also execute summon this card because it takes 2 level 7s, and then basically you don't do that because your monster you only like your main monster is level 1, but your ranks are level 2s. So yeah, so basically you do the second effect as you can also execute using this card by exiting with a rank 2 if they have 5 more materials. During your main phase, you attach 1 extra material. If you do, negate all the cards on the field, and it cannot activate, it cannot respawn or anything like that. Your opponent cannot activate cards or artifacts to respond to that activation. If this card has a per level 1 monster as XC material, when this card attacks, it has 5 more materials for like 1500 damage to your opponent. So it's a pretty good card. It's a very good combo if you go and attack like crazy. So basically, if you had this in there, and of course, Happiness in there as well, you basically can attack twice, and that's at least a lot of damage as well because you're attacking at least 2 times at a time and everything, and it's crazy to think about it. So yeah, that's the reason why I run it at 2. For my other 2 I'm running 2 X Purrely Noir. This card you could run at 3 if you want to, because this card's at 14 at your deck right now, because I can't figure out what I want to run. But anyways, what Noir does is basically the exact same effect as to bring it out if you have, of course, a rank 2 monster with 5 X materials. This card's unaffected by opponent's card effects. While this card has 5 more materials. Detach 2 XP materials from this card, target 1 card that your opponent controls or in the graveyard, place it at the bottom of the deck, and this card is a quick effect if this card has a level 1 Purrely monster. So yeah, it's a very good card for that reason. So it's basically one of the best cards that Purrely has. That's just why I said Purrely is expensive to card deck, but like the supers is very cheap because it's easy to pull, but Purrely is pretty expensive card. So I run 2 copies of Purrely Beauty. basically what purrelys are is basically Eevee, so it's pretty awesome. What Purrely Beauty does is that once per turn, you target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate negate the effects until end of turn. This card is a quick effect while it has Purrely Pretty Memory, and up to twice per turn. So basically, if you can activate 3 river spell cards, they all have the same effect, twice per turn effect. You attach it as XP material. But this one is not. This one's not the same effect. You can change your battle of your opponent's battle position monster. So basically, what you do is you have Purrely, you have Pretty Memory. So basically, it's taking a bath, and it becomes basically this one. That's basically what it does. So it's a pretty good card. 2 copies of Purrely Plump. I'm running 2 copies of Plump. Plump is a very good card as well. What Plump does is basically a card that says that this was one card I say is very good as well. Once per turn, you can target up to 2 cards in the spell trap cards in your either graveyard. In the graveyards, basically either graveyard. Attach them as XP material. Attach them to this card as XP. Quick effect. It has a delicious memory. It has twice per turn, but then this one banishes for the twice per turn effect. So yeah, so you basically get Purrely, and of course the one that he has a lot of food, and then boom. That's basically how it does, because you activate Purrely's effect to show off delicious memory, and then you bring out Plump. That's basically how that works. So, and then as well for another card, I did buy it as a super rare, so 2 copies of Happiness. So yeah, I got them as supers because I decided to upgrade this deck. I'm not going to fully upgrade the deck unless it's a cheap upgrade, but like for a collector rare for Purrely, it's like almost $100, so I'm good. But what this card does is at the end of one of battles, you can add 1 Purrely card from the deck into your hand. Yeah, you're basically searching any Purrely card, so it's very awesome for the deck. Then also, if this has Purrely Happy Memory as XP material, you can have 20 opponent's monsters on the face up on the field. Up to twice per turn, you can when you activate a Purrely quick play spell card, you can attach it. You can attach it to this card as well as XP material, and then return 1 spell trap card your opponent controls. So yeah, basically you are doing like I showed Purrely Happy Memory. And boom. And since you have Happy Memory attached, you gain 2 searches because you're attacking twice already, right there. So it's pretty insane. So basically what you do is you probably search another Happy Memory, play Happy Memory, attack, so you can get another Happy Memory, play it again, attack. Because since you're attaching it, it's that fast. It's that insane how good that deck is and everything. Okay, now for the XEs I'm running 1 copy of Utopic Future and of course Dragon Future. These 2 are only, it's in here mainly for Dragon Future. So what Dragon Future does is that, of course, you cannot use number monsters as XP materials, of course, but because you using this, because you can't use number monsters to bring it out noise, that's the reason why your Purrelys are fine, because they all non-number. X Purrely is not numbered, so yeah. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you detach 1 XP material from this card, and the direction if you do, gain control of it. So basically, it's not an end turn, you gain control, you gain control permanently, so I decided to use this card for that reason, and everything, and I think what this, yeah, it can't be destroyed by battle by card effect, so yeah, that's another reason why I'm using it, because of that reason, so it's pretty awesome. Of course, Zeus is Zeus. Why wouldn't you want Zeus? Basically, you use Zeus is in here mainly to destroy stuff on the field if we need to, and then of course I use Link Karibo just in case if you get like Ash Blossom or Effect Failure, because at least you can get rid of this to bring Link Karibo to play in one place. So that is my Purrely deck profile. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this. I'm sorry I took a little bit more longer to give you guys this video, but I was like I said, I was doing like video giving you guys trying to figure out some good ideas for this deck and everything, and giving you guys a way that you guys could play Purrely for a cheap budget, and because everyone else is like using more of the $20 cards and above, and I try to make it as cheap as possible, because at least most of these hand traps, like She's a Common, Ghost Ogre is a common, and of course Ash Blossom's a common, and same with the Effect Rail is a common. So I try doing it as cheap as possible for you guys, so you guys can at least build this deck as cheap as you can. And that's the reason why I built this deck for you guys, but at the same time I built it for myself too, so I could play it. And XE Import is pretty cheap. The only one I would say is Purrely's getting up there. The Happy Memory, I mean not Happy Memory, Beautiful Pretty Memory, and Friend, Purrely Friend. Okay, so basically I have the expensive cards that you would need 3 of, especially with this deck, is especially where it's at. Those are gonna be like some of the expensive cards because this is almost like $15 to $14, and this one's about $16 to $17. Because this is, like I said, I already showed you this, is $26. It's pretty insane. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not a cheap deck to try to build, but at the same time, if you can get like if you have friends out there that helped you, like say helps you, like they buy packs and you can do a deal with them, try to do the deal because it's cute. It's an EV based archetype, and of course this deck is getting upgraded in May as well. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Make sure you guys smash the like button and subscribe if you guys are new. Hopefully you guys did enjoy a longer video today. Uh, this is like over 20 minutes because I wanted to show you guys this Purrely deck and what it does, and I wish I could show you guys how it's played usually, but because Lily is coming out in next month, I think hopefully you guys will enjoy more of this content because I will be updating this deck with Lily and of course the river spell card that comes with it. So hopefully you guys do enjoy. Like I said, make sure you guys smash the like button, of course subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream, whatever I do today. Today's Monday, so of time recording, and of course be uploaded today. So I might stream. See you guys later. Peace out. Bye.